Welcome to Girls Talk with Girl on Spot, the podcast run by women and a gremlin dedicated to talking about all things games, books, and movies. So, my name is Oracle Arcana. Everyone refers to me as Arc. I also go by they, them pronouns. I have for amount of time. But yeah, those are pronouns.
I'm our final kiss. I go by Kissy Face, and I go by she, her.
I am Timeless Storm. You can call me Timeless, and I am also she, her.
If you couldn't tell by the they, them, I am the gremlin.
They are the gremlin. I look like a gremlin in the morning, but I am not a gremlin.
I'm always a gremlin.
I'm more like the gremlin, you know, when they feed them after midnight and they get wet.
I'm not a gremlin, I'm just cute.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe to your husband.
Okay, Timeless.
Wow.
Maybe to your husband.
Wow.
It's not a matter of wanting to be a gremlin, I just am.
They just are.
And if you do hear random comments and reactions in the background, that is my husband. His name's Brian. He's him, but he's not an official member of the podcast. He's just here.
He's just our friendly troll in the back.
Yep, he's waving.
Trollololol.
Don't. Every time someone does it, I think of the song that I can't. No, you touch my trollola. You don't know that song.
Oh, I forgot about that one. No, yeah, I know that one.
Because you have to age us.
What?
That is an old ass song.
Ooh, you don't.
I'm old.
I mean, so am I. To be fair, so am I. I mean, yeah. we're all late 20s, early 30s.
I'm gonna be 30 in October.
They were talking about their dirty 30 wanting to celebrate. I'm like, what is that?
I don't really.
I didn't hear that.
The only reason they even got. Excuse you, Brian?
Wow!
Wow! So Brian just typed in the chat, isn't Kiss like 38?
No, that's Data. Don't tell him. It's Data. He's not 38 either, but he's close enough. I'm not the old one in this relationship.
I mean, the only reason that the dirty 30 thing even got brought up is my brother just kind of brought up. It's like, so what are we doing for your dirty 30? It's like, I don't know. I don't really even. I didn't even know. I didn't even know that when you hit 30, it's you dirty 30, and then you do something. Like I thought it was just once you hit 40, you had the over the hill party. I didn't even know 30 had one.
I didn't know 30 had a special one either. I thought people just said dirty 30 because it rhymed.
I wish I would have known. Like I might have done something. No, I wouldn't have. I might have thought of doing something. We were in the middle of quarantine. I couldn't do it anyway. I didn't even know that it was a thing, to be fair. So my brother...
you got your sweet 16.
Thank my brother for that one.
You're 18 when you're an official adult.
21 right, you're 21.
Alcohol. And then I guess dirty 30?
I guess dirty 30 is the next big birthday, I suppose?
And then 40 is over the hill, and then you're just gonna die soon.
What's 50? Doesn't 50 have something too?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
That's your midlife crisis.
I'm gonna look, because a midlife crisis. they have a midlife crisis.
If you aren't aware, this is how our podcasts often go. We have a very, very random off-topic.
It happens.
It does. More frequently than we probably would like, but at least it's entertaining. I feel like I'm not typing in this question because I'm just getting what's for 40. I don't have an answer. I would say type in phrases for different ages. Maybe that.
Phrases for the ages.
I'm sad that I don't know what over 50 would be. I want to know. I'm not 38! God damn it! So also, for future reference, we also have started doing stage channels for the podcast, so our audience members can come in and comment and give us points that they would like us to discuss and so forth. And spam that I did not say that I was not 38, apparently.
Yep, so we will be responding to the chat there throughout.
Or generally harass the host, as Brian
Harass the
just
host.
said.
Yep, that's my husband. That's what he likes to
You can
do.
also, if you have something that's really pressing that you want to say and you don't feel comfortable typing it, you can also raise your hand.
Yeah.
But we prefer to keep those to a minimum.
Yes.
38.
Raz, why did I think you're like 32, 33, like right around my age? Why can't I post GIFs? Because this
Question.
is... I don't know. It does every... Fucking Brian. Okay, so what's first on our
Anyway.
list tonight?
Getting back on topic.
We'll come off
So-
in 2 seconds.
I know we will, but trying to get us on topic. E3 was last weekend. Last weekend? 2 weekends ago?
I think it was last weekend. I feel like.
No, because it ended
No?
the 15th, so 2 weeks ago.
I
Okay.
am a horrible gamer because I did not watch any of E3 because the one thing I'm waiting for is the EA plays, and I need to know if Dragon Age is coming out, and if it doesn't, I am going to raise hell with BioWare.
To be
That's all.
fair, the only thing that I really watched E3 for this year was Nintendo's, because I wanted to see what they were doing for Legend of Zelda's 35th anniversary, which I'm sorely disappointed in, and also see Breath of the Wild 2 content, which Breath
See,
of the Wild 2...
I think that's why I don't watch E3 is because like I get really excited for games that I think are going to happen, and they either don't happen, they're not ready yet, or they tease you and then say, "Oh, that'll be in 5 years," or I'm disappointed in what they're coming out with.
Did you mean to say Paralives? Paralives
Like,
did make an appearance at E3 though, so that's cool.
Yeah, I
mean,
can see that.
I am very impressed. We've been waiting for 4 years, or 2 years, for Breath of the Wild 2's newest trailer, since they released that in 2019. So we've been waiting for more information for 2 years on Breath of the Wild 2, and I have to say, they did not disappoint with that, but it's the overall lack of presentation for one of their highest grossing franchises that kind of disappointed me for Nintendo, because all they're doing for Legend of Zelda's 35th anniversary is a watch and play.
Yeah, it's
Ew.
pretty lame.
That's all they're doing for
Wow.
it. They're not, considering what they did for Mario last year, and that I didn't look at what the numbers ended up being from that, but I had to imagine that there was some phenomenal revenue that came out of that. You would think that it would be a good idea to do that for another big franchise, because when you think of Nintendo, what is the first 3 things you think of? Mario,
Mario, Zelda.
Pokemon.
I don't think
Pokemon.
of Pokemon. I'm terrible.
I love Pokemon.
That's their highest grossing franchise, or second
Yeah.
highest grossing franchise.
Probably.
But you think of,
I think Mario and Zelda.
yeah, exactly. The first thing that you think of is either Mario or Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
You don't think of anything else. So for their 35th anniversary, you would think that it would be more than what it is.
You would think.
But I mean, I'm excited that Skyward Sword HD is coming out in
That's pretty
less
cool.
than a month. I already
I-
pre-ordered it, and I'm picking it up on the day it comes out.
You would, you nerd.
I
You're
need
damn
to,
right I am.
I need to replay Breath of the Wild. I played the
I need
first
to
10 minutes
beat
of it.
Breath of the Wild.
Oh yeah, I only played the first 10 minutes of it, so I need to actually go through and play
At
it.
least I've done
I mean,
all
to
of that.
be fair, like every other Legend of Zelda game, it's not. You never fully beat it.
The main story,
There's-
though.
There's
Don't play with
always
me.
some-
I have 100% of Majora's Mask. Don't play with me. Don't
Okay,
ever say that
you
to me
can
again.
you can 100. Okay, no. Let me rephrase that. You can 100% the game, but at least in this case, in the case of Breath of the Wild, there's always something new to discover. Like, there's people who have 900 plus hours in the game, and they're still discovering new things.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of Breath of the Wild.
No, I'm a completionist. If I have to keep doing more and more and more and more, and I'm not getting to like you did everything, I get anxiety.
The whole thing with Breath of the Wild was that it was meant to introduce a brand new concept to Legend of Zelda, pretty much. It hasn't been done in a very long time, and that was an open world concept. And this is fully open world. You don't have to tackle things in one specific order. I mean, hell, there's speedrunners who go from Plateau to just fighting Ganon without ever doing anything else.
I have seen people do that.
I've heard of people doing that. That's insane.
It's crazy.
I mean, there's actually a lot of different speedrunning categories for Breath of the Wild, which is interesting to think of. But, yeah, it's meant to be a game that you can play again and again without having to go do meaningless or side quests.
They just said meaningless. It's never meaningless.
Not meaningless.
Hurt my feelings.
Anyway, so I mean, Timeless, I think you're the only one that really watched most of E3.
Yeah.
I think Timeless is the only one of us that watched E3, really.
I even streamed it on the GSG channel, so people can come watch it with me.
I only watched the last day, really. I watched a little bit with Timeless when she was watching it on GSG.
Listen.
But I was mostly interested on Tuesday.
I've been waiting 7 years to hear that Dragon Age 4 was coming out, and then last year they released fucking a concept art trailer, and then they released a fucking trailer this year. If I don't get a game, I'm afraid. I'm afraid to watch E3. I'm afraid to watch EA Plays. I'm just afraid it's not coming out this year. And I might hurt somebody physically.
You heard it here first, folks.
Was like
this is in Dragon Age withdrawals.
I literally am.
I mean, to be fair, I think that's why you appreciate when I send you the Dragon Age TikToks all the time.
I do. Like, let me tell you how invested I am in Dragon Age. I have all the books. I've played all the games. Yeah, I've played all the games at least 20 times each. I'm replaying Dragon Age Inquisition now. I cry when main characters die, my main companions. I restart games because they died because I fucked up something. And when the concept art trailer first came out last year, I cried.
Like I said, you nerd.
I am invested
Who
in
cries at
everything
video games?
I mean, to be fair, I'm the same way with Legend of Zelda, so I can't say much. We all have our fandoms that we're like that with.
And I feel like there's always a game like that, like deep games that have story that like you always fall in love with like one character. I'm in love with all of them. I did not come at you. I did though. I saw him playing like Raz. Are you liking Dragon Age 2? Like a fucking stalker. I did. She was actually my least favorite, so I was a little sad that was the one you were playing. But you made it better because you said you were playing a Snarky Hawk, and Snarky Hawk is like the best Hawk, so it's okay. I forgive.
Yes. I've heard good things about Hawk.
Oh my God. The Snarky Hawk is the best. It's so funny. I literally just feel like I'm playing myself with their like lines that you pick. Because it's me all day.
Sounds familiar. Timeless, what are some of your big notes from E3?
Well, Elden Ring was announced. It takes place in the Dark Souls universe. Ooh. And George R.R. Martin actually helped work on it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, high fantasy is definitely up his alley.
Yeah. Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little.
Paralives. I'm so freaking excited for Paralives. I need a release date.
I hadn't seen or heard anything about it until after Timeless was talking about it. So I went to go look at one of the trailers that Timeless put, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, I really want this game now because it looks so pretty, and it's a much better version of Sims.
Yeah.
Not that I don't love Sims,
Yeah.
but it's a much better version of what they've got in their engine.
Yes.
Are you hating on The Sims right now?
Yes.
The Sims, I do. But-
It's not without its
Yeah, okay.
problems. EA,
Okay, the thing is with EA, they're just trying to
Make a
make money
penny.
off it now.
Oh, I
When-
100% agree.
When that is why I like Sims 4, I like Sims 3. Sims 2 is the best Sims because Maxis was the creator. He put a lot of care into that game. After they got rid of Will Maxis,
it was Will Wright.
and Will Wright, thank you, and got Will Wright and Maxis, they kicked them out of it. It just became a cash cow, and you could see that there wasn't a lot of love put into the game anymore.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Yeah, I paid, I think, $80 to pre-order the base game of Sims 4.
Oh my god.
I regretted that. That's one of my biggest video game regret purchases.
I'd say I got it for like $5 like a year later, not even.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 was the absolute best. 3 was okay, like it was good, but 4, like, they took out the best parts of them and just kind of came up with it. I was just like, okay.
Yeah,
can
see,
we
I
get,
love-
some of this stuff
I
back?
mean, I like the building aspect of Sims 4.
Oh yeah.
I
that's
do.
I
great.
like the building and the
And the
creative
creative
sim.
sim.
It's great. It's great. The
Yeah.
fact that we have more control over what our Sims looks like, but they skipped everything else. like
Sims
Like-
4
Just
cast and build with like Sims 2, Sims 3 gameplay.
yes.
would have the only thing I would like for them to add still is a height thing.
Yeah, I agree.
There's a mod for that because they
There's a
won't
mod
do
for
it.
everything.
It has to be modded in.
I
because
know.
there's-
Ask me about my mod folder.
Right.
Because because there's mods for everything, but it's not a core aspect of the gameplay, and it's stupid. It's not stupid. It sucks that you have to go searching for a mod just to have a variety of heights. Like, the one thing that I will say from Sims 3 to Sims 4 comparison, Sims 4 slows down over time because it just bogs down your memory folder. Sims 3 didn't. No, I mean, Sims 3 had its major problems. And one of the things that Sims 3 had going for it is the fact that, hey, you can just walk around the world without ever having to deal with the loading screen.
Right.
I missed
Which
that.
can bog down
irritates
your
me.
machine.
Yeah. You know, grocery shop, like, yeah, literally your entire world. And now it's just loading.
See,
Yeah.
and there's some aspects I bring back just because I'm a storyteller in Sims 2, or in Sims in general. I miss being able to control the way households work. Don't get me wrong, having them age up with you without having to go from household to household does have its perks, but I liked being able to control each family, like have each family age up, and go through all that, because then you can establish the characters more, and you have more time to take pictures if you're staging scenes. With Sims 4, it's a lot harder to do.
Yeah, I think there is something in the settings of The Sims 4 though, where you can tell it to not age up off lot.
Brian
Sims.
found out that he can take an angry poo in The Sims 4.
Yep.
Yes, you can. I'm
Okay.
not surprised as a man that you noticed that.
That is another thing I will say about Sims 4. I do like the emotion thing.
Yeah.
I do too.
It is much better than what it was because I think they started to venture into that with Sims 3, but it wasn't all that good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like how you can customize it. Like, I put mods in that make it more realistic. Like, I have more realistic bills. There's sickness.
Right.
There's like pregnancy and surrogacy and all that stuff in mine. I love that. I love how much we can mod it now. But like, some of it I wish was already in the base game that we didn't have
Right.
a mod for that stuff. Like, I get it. It's supposed to be like the life you want to live. You can do whatever you want. But like,
Idealized life.
yeah. Like, put some realism in it though. Like, just a little. Come on.
Yeah.
It's an idealized life simulator.
Yeah, well,
But I mean-
ideally, I would like my Sims to still get sick. They're not perfect.
But I mean, there's also certain things like that Maxis did with Sims 2. Going back to that, like they had an item you could download for free in game, and it was a giant set of scissors, and you could buy the scissors, and I think they were like $5, like 5 simoleons. You could put them on your lot, and you could click on your sim and just tell them to run with scissors.
I missed
It would
that.
give them fun. It would give them fun.
That's wow.
But isn't there a risk of dying?
There actually was, yes, a risk of dying if your motives were low enough. You could die from running with scissors. You could get cut. You could cut your finger and die.
Cut your finger and die.
I kid you not. That was how you
dramatic.
died.
So dramatic.
It was funny.
There's
I mean, side note of dying in The Sims. I accidentally put the I don't. It's an evil toddler mod.
Oh, I know that mod.
I wasn't paying attention, and I activated it when I started my game. Had kids, made Killian.
Oh,
Killian killed Data in the game, then he
He
tried to
would.
kill me. I was like, okay, this game's over.
He would. It's foreshadowing.
My kid killed everybody.
Watch
I
your
was like,
back in
shit.
September.
Oh no, don't say that. No, Killian loves Data. Every time I walk away from my computer, he calls him.
That's adorable.
It is really cute. Like, Mom, I'm talking to Data. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'll come in, and he'll be like, no, go back in the kitchen. Oh, okay. Damn. All right.
He wants his man time.
Yeah, right? I'm talking to Data, Mom. Oh, okay. Okay, bye.
Okay, so other notable mentions from E3. Outer Worlds 2. I played the first game. I don't remember what the second one looks like, but I got excited.
I don't know what it looked like, but I was excited.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the first game. It was like Fallout, but in space.
Yeah, see, I can already tell that I would not get into that. I have this weird problem where, like, even if it's, like, something I really love, I can't get into it unless it's a certain time period. Like, love Dragon Age, can't play Mass Effect, I fucking hate it. Like, Fallout and Skyrim. Love Elder Scrolls. I will play Morrowind every single day. I tried. I bought Fallout 4. I cannot get into it. I tried so hard.
So Fallout 4 is great, but you gotta do, like, 3 or New Vegas.
I tried. I've played 3. I've played through the beginning and I can't get into it. It's the time period.
I forgive you.
I'm a medieval girl.
I understand.
I give me a sword and a bow and I'm happy. But as soon as there's guns and I have to craft guns and there's radioactive cockroaches, I'm like,
Okay. Soup Pot. It's like cooking simulator, but with a focus on Asian foods.
Ooh,
Different company, but same concept. I thought it looked really neat.
That sounds interesting.
So it's an Asian cooking sim?
Basically.
I do love Cooking Simulator.
I know.
I mean, I'd be down for that.
And a lot of, just like, one comment, so I shouldn't have been doing this, but I was, you read through chat as it scrolls by sometimes. Just all throughout E3, there were a lot of just negative comments. And one of the comments that I saw when they were talking about Soup Pot was, oh, it's a women's game or a women's simulator or something. Just like, oof.
Big oof. Oh my god, I wish I would have been in that chat.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Excuse me?
Stop right there. Hold on.
Yeah. At that point, it's like, I'm not going to read the chat anymore. Because it didn't matter if it was like Twitch chat or YouTube chat. Like, all of the chat was just toxic during all of the events.
Are we honestly shocked?
This does not surprise me in the slightest.
It's like, why are you watching, though, if you're going to be so
negative?
mean? Yeah. It's like, you're not enjoying it, just leave.
Because they have nothing better to do with their sad, pathetic lives. True. We call those the triple Bs, remember?
I do. And then the thing that I got the most excited about for E3 was the Life is Strange remaster, which includes all of Season 1 and Before the Storm. And then Life is Strange True Colors.
I've never played Life is Strange, but I've heard really good things.
You need to. It's so good. It'll make you cry.
Is it going to break my heart and make me cry? Because I don't know if I want that.
It will. You're going to cry. But it's so good.
I do want to play. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I probably will eventually play.
Like,
maybe.
They all take place in the Pacific Northwest.
Okay.
One of the appeals to me, for obvious reasons.
That's fair. That's fair.
I live in the Pacific Northwest. For our listeners who don't know. But True Colors is you play Alex, who is just getting out of a group home. Like, she's aging out of a group home.
Okay. Which,
again, that appeals to me because I've worked mental health for 6 years now. This was like the end of my almost 6th year this year, working with behavior and everything. So, like, that speaks to me. And then,
what's that now?
In Life is Strange True Colors, the main character, Alex, is, at the beginning, is just getting out of a group home. And her power is, this isn't a spoiler because they talk about it, it's empathy. And she can, like, read people's emotions and affect them, and some other complicated things that I'm not going to go too much into because I don't know a lot about it. And also I don't know how I don't think it's a spoiler because they talked about it, but some people might consider it a spoiler. So, yeah. But I'm super excited, and there's lots of romance options, whether you want to play her as straight or gay or bi or any of those things. Just like all of the other Life is Strange games, like you get to choose. Like, do you want to romance Stephanie or do you want to romance this guy? Like,
it is cool. I like that. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to actually take a brief pause here, not from the podcast, but before we go on to talking about the big thing for our podcast today, and ask the audience if y'all had anything, if you guys saw E3, what did you think of it? And what, if anything, were you excited about from E3 that you saw?
And say it this time while they're typing. When we play Overcooked 2 again?
I gotta see what my school schedule looks like this week, but I don't know. I'd be down to play it again, though.
I'd be down to try playing again.
I love the chaos.
All of the chaos.
So much chaos.
So,
it cannot be contained.
From Warden, who is Brian, he is looking forward to Battlefield 2042.
Interesting.
Which does look pretty cool. I was watching, he told me this in the trailer. They have some things that they've recreated in the trailer that players have done in the Battlefield games.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I know exactly what he's talking about.
And from Raz, we have Starfield.
What's that?
I have no idea what Starfield is.
I don't remember. But I do remember saying about it.
So what is that, Raz? What is Starfield? Boople Bunny 93 says she's excited for new Outer Worlds.
Same.
For Outer Worlds 2.
Same.
What was that game that you were watching when I came in that one day? Timeless.
I don't know what's happening in it.
It was the civilization looking one.
Oh, not Humanity. I know what game you're talking about.
Interesting. It sounds like it might be fun.
It looks like my type of game. Race.
Yeah, it's basically like a Civilization-style game.
Okay. I love Civilization. I have a problem. I play a lot. I downloaded its own emulator to play Civ Revolution because I have an obsession with it.
I remember that
Humankind. Humankind.
Okay.
Yes, Humankind.
Raz said, speaking to the Washington Post, Todd Howard said Starfield is like Skyrim in space and will feature factions with Constellation, a group of human explorers being the main one. Also like Skyrim and Bethesda's Fallout games, Starfield will be playable both in first and third person perspectives. Ooh.
I'm sold.
If only I like space stuff. I might try it. Skyrim in space. Booble is also excited about Starfield.
Xbox only.
Rip. Big fucking rip. Isn't Booble on Xbox?
What about Game
Or is
Pass?
Booble PlayStation? Yeah, we'll be on Game Pass.
Was Xbox.
Yeah, Booble's Xbox. We can get some Game Pass love.
Xbox
Game Pass
Series
Day
S.
1 release.
Alright, there you go. I have Game Pass.
Is there any other games that anyone was excited about?
So what's our next topic? Oh, Boogle Bunny's typing. Squadrons. But it already came out, yeah. Brian played that a bit. I'd be curious. It's available in VR too, and I think it would make me motion sick, but I'd still be curious to like try it in VR.
I just want VR to play Beat Saber. I just want it.
Yes.
Same. So, now we're actually going to kind of meander, and I do use meander.
Meander!
Into our main theme for the episode, which is talking about LGBTQIA plus representation in media and pride in general. So, a name that I've been introduced to lately for LGBTQIA plus is the Alphabet Mafia, because it's easier to say that than sometimes saying the entire acronym for some people, which, I mean, fair. And honestly, Alphabet Mafia sounds cooler too.
I'm Italian. I don't know if I want to be. I don't know if I want to be the Mafia.
I've got some Italian too, but you're not just in the Mafia. You're in the gay Mafia.
I know, but I feel like someone's gonna say that to me and be like, "Who you been talking to? Who told you?"
You're Italian? Are you in the Mafia? Yeah, the Alphabet Mafia.
The worst part is I'm pretty sure I have family in the Mafia, and I'm pretty sure they came to a family reunion once, because I asked my grandfather, because they were all in the corner, dressed really nice, and we're like, who is that? He's like, that's your family from wherever, and I'm like, are they in the Mafia? And he literally straight-faced looked at me, and this man never straight-faced anybody, and said, I can't tell you that. I'm like, oh, okay.
So that's a yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alphabet Mafia. I just don't know how I feel about that. It is easier to say because I can never say
LGBTQIA plus.
Yeah,
that's why a lot of people. That's why people also shorten it to LGBTQ.
Yeah.
Plus.
Yeah.
Truth.
The plus is very important too.
Yes.
Plus is important.
So, what the Alphabet Mafia, referring to LGBTQIA plus, it is a generalization of the group of labels that people identify as, and it's a thriving community made up of every accepted. Notice that word, accepted. And that is a very important word for this part of it. For the accepted part of the community. When I say accepted, I don't mean that certain identities are excluded, except for these two. Because they are bullshit and they do not exist. Should not exist. And honestly, I find it baffling that people decided that this is a good idea to come up with. Trigger warning for both of these, I suppose. We will not accept, speaking as a member of the Alphabet Mafia, we will not accept rape sexuals. Because that is not a real fucking thing. We also will not...
Sexual.
Someone who is attracted... This is what the Twitter thing says.
Just Twitter about it.
Quote him.
They have a Twitter.
Quote him. Someone came up with it on Twitter.
Oh, gotcha.
Not shocking, but quote unquote, and I don't remember it word for word. It's someone who is only attracted to someone in the sense that they are raping them or sexually assaulting them.
Right, we call those predators.
Right.
Yes, we do. Yes,
they
we
don't
do.
they don't get a letter. They are predators.
I can't believe I'm actually typing this fucking in.
What is the other one?
The other one is MAPS, otherwise known as minor attracted people. That is also
God!
Pedophiles! That is a pedophile!
What the... What? Oh
Yeah,
my
here's
God.
Okay, so I found the Twitter post that says
Share
it.
with me. Let me see this.
Share it with me too.
Written podcast. Let me see this.
I will. This is what it says, and it shows the flag too. So I can send you the flag so you can be on the lookout for it if you're ever at a pride parade. Rape sexual only attracted to involuntary or non-consenting partners.
I will go to fucking
That's
jail, you
disgusting.
understand? I will go to jail at a pride parade if I saw any of this.
Yeah. If some dumbass decides that, hey, it's a good idea, because I'm part of LGBT, I'm part of the Alphabet Mafia because of this.
They about to be part of the No Teeth crew is what I'm going to tell them.
They're about to be part of that, and their flag's going to get ripped out of their hands and burned.
Yeah.
So, this is that disgustingness, and I'm going to delete that picture because I don't want that on my phone.
Oh my God.
They actually made a flag.
They actually made a flag. And then,
Unbelievable.
Unfortunately, because I'm very fairly active in the sphere of being queer. Yeah, that rhymes.
The queer sphere.
The queer sphere.
Unbelievable.
I unfortunately have heard quite a fair bit about these. So here is the other gross ass thing. So if you ever see this,
Okay, let me have to open pictures.
is the other garbage.
Like,
Get that
why
off
did
my-
they make a flag? Why are they making flags for this?
Because
why?
they want to be included.
Because be special.
Yeah, special in jail. Castrated? Sure. Absolutely, you can join the castration club. 100%.
Oh,
Oh my
So-
God.
that is
Can we
So-
just blame the people a couple months ago that came up with the straight flag for all these new flags that are coming out just to be fucking trolls?
unfortunately.
God.
Unfortunately, the map thing is not new. It's been around for maybe 5-6 years.
I believe it. It's just, oh my God. But I didn't hear about any of this until the freaking straight flag came out. I was like, are you kidding me?
And the
Yeah,
super
why?
straight bullshit.
This, unfortunately, that's why I'm just like, I hate that I've seen that making the rounds. Like, it's never, whenever I've been on TikTok and I've seen that rape sexual thing, and I hate saying that, is when someone is addressing and just be like, this is not a real thing. This is called being a fucking predator.
Right?
You are not
oh
part of
my
the Alphabet
God.
Mafia. No. And unfortunately,
And there's
I can't-
another one. I just saw another one.
oh no.
It's more of a gender thing.
Oh no. Oh, how pissed
uh,
am I gonna be?
It's bad. It's
not
called,
good, huh?
It's called clover gender.
What?
Clover gender, like a floor leaf clover. A child trapped in a man's body who is attracted to other children. Pedophile.
Yeah!
That's
About that
no.
now.
That's not a thing.
No, it's not. It absolutely is not.
I just saw my mire popped out. So angry. Literally, like,
no, that is not a thing.
Okay, wait, hold on. I might have misread what this was. Hold on, let me... So they're using this to troll people on Tumblr and Facebook.
Sounds about right.
And there's even a Discord. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I would not be shocked if this was a QAnon thing.
It's unbelievable.
Would not be shocked. And is it really so unbelievable at this point with how asshole-ish people are?
It's incredible. I cannot believe people.
Nothing is shocking at this point to me, honestly.
I become less surprised every time I hear something new.
Because and they get bolder every year because more and more, or not more and more, but the vocal minority are just like, if we allow this and this, what's to say that we shouldn't allow bestiality or pedophilia? It's like, motherfucker, what?
Yeah, I've seen posts and like shit people say on TikTok, like people saying like pedophilia is a sexuality. Stop. Stop. Are you kidding me?
Right, like people like that are the people who who cause quote unquote Christians to say that, gay people are in the same group as pedophiles, which they're absolutely not.
Disgusting. Yeah, it's disgusting.
Especially when the Bible, the actual correct translation says, man shall not lie with child as he does with man.
Yep.
Right? But Christians, we twisted that so it doesn't lay with another man because, we like to rewrite books to fit our standards that we would like.
It was
1946 was that when that one came about.
Yeah, because the U.S. bought it from Germany and wanted the rights to translate it or something, and they changed that because, Germany needed the money or something, so Germany was like, yeah, here you go.
Imagine.
The King James Version.
Yep.
Not to turn this into any kind of religious conversation, because I definitely think we should have one later for it.
Oh, yeah.
But, and this is just my opinion, we will touch upon it when we actually do that podcast. It's not that I don't believe in God, and I don't say I'm a Christian, but I have a very hard time living by a book written by men at a conference that they decided what would be in the book. Otherwise, I'm down with it, but not with the Bible. I just can't.
And you have your resident picking over here who's just like, want to run around a fire naked?
Right? Actually, really another side thing here. I saw this on TikTok where someone was talking about religion and how bad the world is right now and all this stuff that's going on, and they're like, hear me out. What if this God that is allowing all these people to die, these horrible diseases to go on, and he's not doing anything about it, and pedophiles and racism and slavery, what if God is not God, and it is actually the devil, and he actually did win, and he did take over, and we think it's God, and really, God is what we consider the devil, because that's what we're told to believe it is. And that's why when you look at the rules for the Church of Satanism, it's all about accepting each other and being kind to each other. And I was like, wait.
I read something kind of like that. It was less explanation like that, but more of a story of oh, everyone's dying, and then God comes along and is like, oh, here, come this way, you'll go to heaven. And so dude steps through the portal and he's actually in hell. And he's just like, wait a minute, what?
Right. Surprise.
Yep.
The thing that gets me is when Christians start talking about how there's only one God. No, even your own Bible does not say there's only one God. What your Bible says is, you shall not have any other God before me.
Right.
It acknowledges that, guess what?
There's more than one.
There's polytheism.
Yep.
And Baphomet is one of them. and is also the one that is most closely related to the Christian devil, which is the devil is not Satan. Satan is literally the word Satan literally means
one who is against Christ or one who is against God or something.
Enemy. It
Enemy.
essentially just means enemy.
Oh.
Right.
If I remember correctly. Anyway, we got way
I know,
off
sorry.
So if you want to hear more
Sorry.
about religious topics, we'll talk about that on another episode. Stay tuned.
Honestly, that'll be a fun one.
Oh my god.
I'll need to do my homework for that one.
That'll be a very fun one.
Yeah.
Can that one be another streamed one?
Yes, it can, because I would love to stream that one. So
Because in that one I might be in as pagan garb as I can get.
So, yes, 100% yes. Our heavier topics, I have decided that we're going to stream them live as well as record them, because the heavier topics do require to be seen.
More nuance.
Yes. Our next one will be a live one, and we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But it will be a live one.
Alright. We kind of went into some serious topics with
As we do.
we thought this one we thought this one was going to be kind of light, which my mistake.
Okay.
We can get there.
You know, we kind of thought this was going to be light. I thought this one was going to be kind of light because we were talking mostly about E3 and just general representation.
New topic, favorite dinosaurs. T-Rex.
Later, Brian. Later.
No, T-Rex. Highly relate because I have short arms.
Favorite dinosaur is raptor, a velociraptor.
Yee.
Brontosaurus.
Because it's short and it's a gremlin. Just like me.
So shouldn't you be a turkey raptor?
No.
No.
Gobble, gobble.
This makes me think of the Thanksgiving movie. Oh my
Oh,
God.
jeez.
Still need to see
Yo.
that one.
In GSG, y'all know we have community movie nights where we pick absolutely awful movies to watch. When we
And some
watching
good
Rubber?
ones. We'll get there. We'll get there.
We should definitely watch that one for November. Just
Oh my
saying.
God. Thanksgiving?
Okay. Or rubber.
No. I will not sit through that movie again and watch a turkey fuck a girl who had no idea that she was fucking a turkey. I can't. I can't. I can't.
What?
Were you not there? Did you not see it?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, let me just give you. I'll try to not be graphic. Okay, there is a turkey who goes around killing people, right? This turkey went into a couple who were fornicating. He killed the boyfriend while this was going on, and did the deed with the girl, and she had no idea. And he's like, "Take my gravy." What?
Take my gravy.
Oh my god, that's great. Also, thank you, Boople, for bringing up something. Getting us back on topic. So, one of the things that we asked, or I had put in our notes for this episode, was why is this kind of representation important? What makes this representation important? And that is what Boople Bunny 93 put into our chat is exactly why this kind of representation is important. What Boople Bunny 93 said was, I will say, as far as representation of TikTok, LGBTQ TikTok has a Disney filter that will only recognize male and female presenting faces. Which means, if you're not presenting particularly hyper femininely or hyper masculinely, that filter will not recognize your face. Yeah, hi. So if I'm not feeling, because I don't particularly present in a hyper feminine way or a hyper masculine way, I just dress as comfortable as possible and as whatever I feel like grabbing out of my closet or out of my drawers. So, and the way my face is, it does look feminine, but I do recognize some more masculine features in my face. So, I don't know how
only imagine the dysmorphia some people get from that.
Yeah, really. Like, if I can only imagine if someone's trans, like, male to female or female to male, how that must make them feel if when they use the Disney filter, if it presents them with a masculine face if they're transitioning to a female, how that must make them feel. Like, that
Absolutely.
dysphoria is probably painful as hell.
Yeah.
The only question I have with that is who built that filter? Yeah, exactly that. Like, some young non-binary person or some young trans person would be incredibly triggered. That's exactly right. But that makes you wonder who built that filter, and why do they not kind of put some more thought into that?
Right.
You would think that they would. So that's the reason that representation is important. It's also important because it makes it feel more normal. If you're, say you're someone who's non-binary. We really do, honestly. We're getting caught in before we hit the cracks more and more. Like, I think there was a show on Stars or Showtime or one of those movie things where there was a show called Billions?
Something like that.
They actually have a canonically non-binary person in the show. And the actor, the person playing the role, is themselves non-binary. And they have come out and said that. They've said that from the very beginning, before the show even started. So, imagine you're a teenager and you catch the show and you see this person on that show, and she's like, they look like me. I'm not strange. I don't have to feel like I'm weird. Like, I'm other. And for a lot of LGBTQ youth, that is a big issue for them. That is a big issue with the representation that's out there. And then you have people who are just like, you shouldn't be showing this in a kid's cartoon. You shouldn't be talking about sex in a kid's cartoon.
I can't with people. That
Like,
just brings
first
up
of all-
Beauty and the Beast issues for me.
First of all, just because you're talking about someone's sexual orientation does not mean they're actually talking about sex. The easiest way you can explain it is, oh, those two people love each other like I love your dad.
Yep.
Exactly.
Or your grandma loves your grandpa. This, that, or the other. You can explain it as easily as that. A good point, I haven't looked at any of the any comments about the show because I'm afraid to see what people actually have to say about it, because I saw enough when I saw a video from Star and the Forces of Evil or whatever, versus the Forces of Evil, when in an episode they actually had two girls kiss, or two boys kiss, one or the other, I don't remember what it was. And there was comments just blasting that show for doing that. There's another Disney, and the funny thing is, these are both Disney shows. So that's the shocking thing. Disney's been an issue for LGBTQ.
Oh yeah, there. Good Luck Charlie, I think, was
Yep.
a show where they had a lesbian couple
Two moms.
on it briefly, and then people just started sending hate mail and death threats to the child that played Charlie
That's disgusting.
because Disney chose to show a gay couple. It's like,
Let's rewind to when Beauty and the Beast came out, and moms were pissed and petitioning the movie because LeFou was clearly gay. And so he wasn't the original too.
yeah,
He wasn't the original too. Who cares? Like, why does it matter?
And yeah, that's exactly it too. But Boo Boo Bunny 93 said again, heterosexual relationships are severely overrepresented in kids' movies and shows. And, like, you have more and more kids who have parents who are moms and moms, or parents who, their babas are non-binary. Which I just found out that's a way to address yourself. If you're a parent and you're non-binary, you can call yourself Baba. B-A-B-A.
I did not know that.
Which is really cute. You have more and more kids who have their baba or their moms, or their dads. And they don't see their families represented. Actually, one of the biggest things for representation that came out this year, and I've always thought Blue's Clues was a great show.
Oh, yeah.
Blue's Clues came out with I forget if it's a counting one.
There's
I think it's a counting
alphabet one.
There's an alphabet one, and there's a count. Oh yeah, it's alphabet, wasn't it? With the parade, with the drag queen?
I think so.
But either way, they had every sexuality represented in that, and it was beautiful. I haven't looked at any comments about that either, because I'm sure the Karens and the Kevins
Kevin.
I don't remember if it's a Kevin or whatever the male presenting one is.
I don't know.
But whatever that is, I'm sure they flip their tops.
Oh, I'm sure.
So
it's a Ken apparently.
Oh, is it a Ken?
Kyle.
Kyle.
Is it
Brian
Kyle?
says
Kyle.
It's Kyle.
Kyle's the ones that are like the big monster stringers, but either way, you know who I'm referring to.
Yeah.
And then, but the show that I was actually started on this rant about is Owl House. Owl House has the first openly and canonically bisexual character. It is a kids show. It is shown on Disney XD.
Huh.
They also have a non-binary, we're pretty sure, presenting character because they don't dress femininely, even though I think they're called by feminine pronouns. I don't remember. But still, these are some big things that kids need to see, because they need to know that, hey, if you are this way, it's okay. It's perfectly normal.
100% agree. I growing up with my mother is very conservative in a lot of ways. She won't come outright and say it, but you can tell with the way she talks about some things or when you talk about certain things. But when I was growing up, I think it was my homecoming dance, my senior year, my boyfriend left me at the dance. We broke up, he left me. And he proceeded to call my mom because he was mad. He broke up with me and told my mom that I had kissed a girl. That wasn't why we broke up. It was just something he knew about me. And then my mom, when she picked me up, didn't want to talk about my breakup or what happened or why he left me. I lived an hour away. She wanted to talk about why I was kissing a girl. She didn't understand. She now refuses to admit this happened. But anytime I hint or she sees something that lets her know that I am not straight, she gets real weird. You're just making this awkward. I knew when I was young I was bisexual. I did not know until probably a couple years ago that I was pansexual. I didn't know because no one talked about it. No one wanted to talk about it. It was we shamed it in our family, so I just never said anything. And I did not know until a couple years ago that that's what I was, because no one talked about it. And then I magically find people. I'm like, oh my god, I'm normal, and I was 28 at the time. The fact that people put their kids through that kind of emotion is horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I will say,
I wasn't even that bad. That wasn't bad for me, but there are horror stories of what people go through.
I went through something similar to you, Kiss, except you've heard my rants about my family, so I don't have to really go into all of that. In high school, I felt like I was broken because my friends would be like, "Oh, they're so hot! Oh, they're so hot!" I'm like, I guess, sure. But I didn't really find people attractive. I thought more personality was attractive. I would think, they're aesthetically pleasing, and I would crush on them for that reason, because they're very aesthetically pleasing, and I'd like to look at them more. But the big thing that made me feel like I was broken was I remember distinctly saying this to someone, I think I was in RGC with them, I don't feel male or female. And they asked me, what does that feel? It's don't know. I just know that I don't feel that way. So, and I didn't have a name for it until the first instance I actually had of something similar to that was when I first discovered Tumblr in 2011. So 19 was, actually it was probably more like 21, was my first instance of really knowing that I might not be cisgender, that I might be gender fluid. And then the more I thought about it, and the more I read, and the more I did the research, like, no, turns out I'm non-binary. And that was a discovery 3 years ago. So 26. The demisexual thing I've known since about 2011. The gender thing I didn't know until much later. So. Yay for growing up in conservative areas.
Yay!
Yeah, it's hard when you don't have a supportive family or they don't really understand and they don't care to really look into it or research it to try to help their kids. Like, they just kind of like, oh, if I ignore it, it'll go away or I won't have to deal with it. And it just makes it worse.
It does. And for the future reference, speaking to that, my family does not actually acknowledge that I am they, them. I go by they, them pronouns. I use they, them pronouns. They do not acknowledge
I told
that.
my family that they would also ignore it.
They do not acknowledge that I use they, them pronouns. They don't acknowledge, or they will use Jin, which is the name that I go by in my everyday life. But more often, I am referred to as by my legal name, Jennifer. I don't like that. I prefer not to acknowledge that name. Not as a slight to my parents, just that name doesn't fit me anymore. I mean, even half the time Jin doesn't really fit me either, but that's just a naming thing that I have to figure out on my own because that's the name I picked out.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure my mom does jumping jacks every time she realizes that I'm dating a man. Also, real quick, just so we're all aware, just because if you were bi or pan and you were dating a man does not make you less relevant or not bisexual or pan or anything else. Just, you are allowed to date a man.
And next time you're at Pride or have anything to do with a Pride event, I'll read your comment in a second, Boople Bunny. Just because you see a straight couple at Pride does not mean that that couple is in fact straight. They may be straight presenting, but they are not straight. They may not be straight. Maybe they are, and maybe they are straight. Maybe they are allies. Take your allies where you can get them. That means that they actually accept you for who you are. But that couple could be a trans man and a woman. That doesn't make them straight. I mean, yes, it does in the sense that maybe they're only attracted to women and they are a man, but they are still trans.
Yeah, don't make
They are still trans. They are still part of the alphabet mafia for that reason. Anyway.
The first time I heard someone give someone shit because they were bi but dating a man said, "You're not bi, you don't belong here." Hello? Isn't that the point? Yeah, I've been told that too. Like, you're not bi, you're dating a man. Hello? You're right, I'm pansexual, but I'm still dating a man. Who cares?
So,
yeah.
Biggest oxymoron. My mother is also bisexual.
Really?
Yeah.
That surprises me.
Yeah. That's why I say oxymoron. But she's been told the same thing, Kiss, about her being straight because she's dating a man. But yeah, the whole thing with it surprising you times, that's why I called it an oxymoron. Anyway, reading Boople Bunny's comment. Can we talk about culture too? Because I came out to my mom that's bi, and she literally just changes the subject and ignores that I even said anything. I'm Hispanic. I feel like my Latino family just ignores that fact about me. On one hand, I want to say that's bullshit and they're just being bigoted fucks. I keep saying that word and I'm sorry because I know we tried to avoid it, but I am passionate.
Like 4 times in a row.
I am passionate about this subject and I get heated, so that's a thing. On one hand, I want to say that's just them being bigoted fucks, because that is absolutely has nothing to do with it. Yes, I mean, it does, because a lot of Hispanic men who find out their sons are gay, or otherwise not straight or cisgender, they will have less than kind things to say, because the machismo of the whole you gotta be a manly man, that bullshit.
My stepdad is all about that, and every time I take Killian there and he says things like that, like, don't let him do that, don't let him do that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, first of all, he's my child. He can do whatever he wants, and what I say is okay. Don't put that on, like, he has a little blanket. It's like a little square piece of fabric that's really soft and has, like, a little elephant on it holding the
Aw.
blankie. He has three of them. Because we might lose one. And he also has, like, this, I can't remember what movie it is. I think it's from Pet's Life, the really fat cat.
Oh yes, he
has
like
a little
pets.
Yeah, that one. He has like a little tiny one, and he calls it his squeezy. No idea where he got that from, but he sleeps with them, and that's his comfort thing. So like, if he wakes up and he can't find them, he'll wake up and get up and get me, because he can't find them. That's his comfort object. And my stepdad's very much like, "Oh, why do you do that? He's a boy." Blah blah blah. I'm like, "Hello," because he's a baby, because he gets a comfort object because he wants it.
Boys can
What is
have
wrong
stuffed
with
animals and
you?
stuff too.
Yeah, or he'll say like, "Oh, that'll make him gay," and I'm not gonna love him any
And like
less.
even
Cool.
like so the last couple of days we've been going through just our old stuff and downsizing, but also expanding our room space, and like there's some old stuffed animals that were brands, our brands, and I'm just like, hey, what do you want to do with this? And he's like, I want to keep that. It's like, okay, cool. Like, and he's a very straight man. Like, stuffed animals and comfort items. I'm pretty sure. I mean, we all know he's a little bit gay for Data.
The amount of time she's done the harder daddy thing for Data. Yeah, we know he's kind of gay for the men of GSG.
Okay, we accept it.
Either
But
way.
that's okay.
We'll allow it.
But like he's got these old stuffed animals that he doesn't want to get rid of because like they're comfort items for him when he was a kid. And he's a dude. He's not a gay dude. You know.
It's just
They're for everybody. Yeah.
That, my friends,
is
called.
Sorry. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and that, my friends, is called toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
And not being secure in your own gender.
Yeah, that's Boople, next time you talk to your mom, tell her that Latino millennials less likely are to identify as heterosexual. Tell her just to accept it. It's time.
And you can also bring up some serious facts about how acceptance lowers suicide rates among the teens of the Alphabet Mafia.
Yep.
Because the more accepting you are, the less likely they are to want to hurt themselves.
Oh, I have a story. So,
it's story time with Timeless.
I used to work in mental health crises with kids and teens, and we would get our fair share of trans teenagers. And when I first started, the rule was if the parents aren't accepting... excuse my husband. If the parents weren't accepting of the kid's gender, like, we weren't allowed to use their pronouns. And that, I don't think we ever listened to that, because studies show that
Wait, time out. Go back. What now?
If the parents did not accept the gender of the kid, then the staff were not allowed to use the kid's pronouns.
Fuck that. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Bullshit!
Yeah. And that rule changed, because that is super harmful to the kid in question, because like there's a reason that they're with us, and if their parents don't accept them for who they are, then that's probably one of the big reasons that they're with us. I even had a kid point blank ask me, because there were like 2 trans kids on that unit, and one of them asked me, like, do you think this rule is stupid? And I was like, yes, I think that rule is stupid. Because some of the staff were following that rule of, I'm going to use your wrong pronoun.
Yeah, I don't. That's horrible. That just makes things worse.
Yeah. And then
literally,
something that I would always try to do with kids, if I knew they were trans, I'd be like, okay, so, and they want to make a phone call to their parents, be like, okay, because we have to dial it for them and hand them the phone. Like, or if they go by something other than their birth name, like, what do your parents call you? How do I refer you to your parents? So I don't risk accidentally causing them more damage.
I would be fired immediately.
So you don't accidentally out them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that, but I'd be fired probably because I'd be like, listen, Kid X likes to go by Kid Y. Can you stop calling him Kid X? Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, and sometimes it was a case of the kid just wasn't out to their parents yet. Sometimes they figured themselves out while they were there.
Right, which is fair.
I mean, it can happen.
But, Boople, it is a lot of what you're saying, I've found, especially with, like, my family being, like, Italian and they're very religious, a lot of it does come down to religion, especially with, like, Latinas. They are religious. More than 2/3 of Hispanics are Roman Catholics. And it's a huge thing to them about, you know, it's in the Bible, you can't be gay, man. That's where a lot of it comes from. And that's how they grew up. They grew up with that older generation who they were told it was wrong. So it's so ingrained in their brains. And like we're part of the generations that it's finally becoming accepting that we can talk to our parents like that. Well, not me, but like the younger generation, their parents are more open to what is going on and they're more open-minded. So it's getting easier, but like our age, us, this group right here that we're talking to right now, we all grew up with parents who were brought up like that. I get it, but my mom also had a heart and bought me monster trucks instead of dolls.
Toys
my dad bought me creepy crawlers as a kid instead of the baking
always
stuff.
Wanted those.
They were so much fun. My sister hated it because she would find them all over her bed.
That's hilarious.
Like, I do go by she, her pronouns, but I am such a tomboy, it's ridiculous.
But yeah, I was always more into the boy toys than the girl toys.
Except for makeup. I love makeup. I can't help it. It's like
got into makeup.
It is art. I don't like the makeup part. Like, I don't want to do it to go out and be like presentable. I just love the creativity of makeup.
That's why you cosplay. That's why I cosplay.
Man, I miss LARP.
I know you do.
I know. I really miss LARP. I want to go be a fairy that eats other fairies. I miss it.
Do you want to be the tooth fairy?
No.
No, you don't want to collect people's teeth as payment when they want to buy things from you?
No.
That's fun, actually.
I want to be a digger.
Haley.
That's what I want to be.
They don't know about that yet.
No, Boople, we love you. We love it. We love you.
Oh yeah, we love that you're talking about this.
It's hard when you feel like you're going through it alone.
It does. And
why we have GSG.
I think if it wasn't clear already, it should be very clear now that you have at least 3 very open ears if you need someone to talk to about it.
Yep.
Because all 3 of us have some part of our identity on the alphabet spectrum. And that is another thing. People who want to say that, oh, you can't be non-binary. Non-binary doesn't exist in nature.
But it does.
Motherfucker, what? Yeah, it does.
People are just dumb.
Do you not understand that sex is not just X and Y? It is an entire spectrum. It is not just a binary.
It's my favorite argument from people. I'm like,
no, one might even say it's non-binary.
Sexuality is a spectrum. It is not a binary. It's not just straight and gay. There's an entire spectrum. You may not even be on the spectrum. It's just like Dude!
I told Data the same thing, Poople.
Science!
I literally told my husband he's the last man I'm going to be with, and he was like, I'm actually very okay with it. I told Data the same thing. I'm like, you're the last man. This is it
When
for
are
me.
you married to said husband? I know you got engaged.
Are
but
you
when
engaged and didn't get married yet, and you're just calling him your husband? Because I'm a little concerned that I was not invited to the e-wedding. Okay, good. It's like,
Okay.
girl, do we need to have a
Yeah,
conversation?
I was gonna say, it's like, seriously, none of she got invited to the wedding.
Like, damn.
Rude.
At least stream it.
At least stream it in the Discord.
Raz said, I'm a dude raised mostly around women and only had male-style interactions in school and or work. Yep, that sounds about right.
If
I really hate, my biggest issue with the whole manly man and toxic masculinity is, like, all it does, in my opinion, is show men that it's not okay to show feelings. It's not okay to not be okay. And then we have skyrocketing suicide rates among men because
Yeah.
they feel like they're
that's what
not
I
allowed
was
to go and
just
talk
gonna
about it.
say.
We're not allowed
I-
to show our feelings. We're not allowed to cry. We're not allowed to go see a therapist. Hello? Data, what was the thing? Wasn't it you, when we first met, you were doing a charity stream for a month about men? Yeah, that. November. Yeah, he did that whole month of November. He did that. He couldn't shave. It was great. Can you say something about it so we can read it? Talk about it a little bit so we can read it, because I can't remember.
Your hand and talk about it in here.
Yeah. Oh, if he wants to. Darling, would you like to come in and talk about it for a minute?
So
Well, time you took exactly a minute.
Okay.
That's fair.
That's fair. Hold on, I'll pull something up for it. Haley says I was super straight. Does she not remember? Ben,
You're
just,
not
do you
super
not know
straight.
how to type? Do you not know how to
I
type?
forgot about
You're
that.
you're not super straight.
Not super
It-
straight.
Erase the super, please.
Not
Because-
super straight.
Because I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure you wouldn't care if a woman was trans. She's a woman now. Is a woman.
Okay.
Okay,
He's
so-
not super privy to what the whole super straight BS.
Ah.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Fair.
God, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
I guess.
so-
Shit, didn't put that in there.
From you.
So, November is an annual event involving the growing of mustaches during the month of November to raise awareness of men's health issues, such as it can be prostate cancer, testicular cancer, and men's suicide.
Easy good cuz.
Yes.
Yes. Data had quite the mustache for a month.
I'm
I
sure.
It was
bet.
really funny because that's when I first met him. It was right at the beginning of it. I got to watch him grow a mustache.
That had to be entertaining.
It was.
Honestly, I
He
can't
had a
picture him
porn
with a.
stash.
I was gonna say as funny as it is, that's what I was picturing on Data's face, and I'm just like, I can't see it. I can't unsee it in my mind, and I don't know how I feel about it.
Just you know how he has like his beard going, and just like hide, just use your hand and hide the beard and just the mustache. It's great. it's absolutely amazing.
Would you guys like the story of Ben?
Yes.
It is Ben.
Brian, do you want to tell the story of Ben?
No, you do it.
Brian, come tell us the story of Ben. Just come over into Timeless's microphone and tell us about Ben.
Get
Just
up,
scoot your chair over.
He's actually laying on the couch right now. I don't mind
Yeah,
if he
invade
invades
her-
my. He can invade my
Invade her
personal space anytime. He's.
I can almost hear the chair scoot.
That was my
I'm on
chair.
the couch.
He was on the couch. He's slowly coming. Oh, now he's
Come,
burping.
Brian.
I heard that.
All right,
Jeez.
here he is.
Hello.
Hello.
A couple of years ago, I was working at the Ram Brewery, and the best server they had was this dude named Ben. Like, he was he was like the most bro person you ever met, and I think it's bi. I don't know. But like, I'm always just like kind of a flirty person, no matter what. That's why I like harass Data and Doom. I think it's just fun. If it bugs them, I'm sure they'll tell me to stop. But if I flirted with Ben, he would give me milkshakes, and this went on.
Nice.
So I just got milkshakes while working the line, and this went on long enough to where, like, Ben and I are just kind of hanging out, and like we have a moment in the back parking lot, and I'm just like, Ben, I gotta tell you something, man. I'm not gay. He's like, oh my god, I was gonna tell you the same thing.
Oh my god. Jesus.
You've told us this story before. You mentioned that bit at least.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that bad.
We traded Xbox games and left for the day.
That's amazing. I love
That's
it.
awesome.
So
Are
yeah,
you
that's
even
bad.
friends if they don't question your sexuality? Me and Cheryl have this joke because her family still thinks we're lesbians. That we're in some kind of
Nice.
weird relationship together for the past 13 years. If you're not friends, I mean, come on. Best friends, people think you're gay.
Yep.
True.
No, but that's because my best friend is also my brooder.
You're
And
what?
we've never-
What?
You're what?
Oh, okay. I call her them. Their pronouns are her them. So she they. You know.
Mhm.
I first met Zodi as when we were back in the days when Hitalia was really, really big. It's making a comeback. And my main cosplay that I did was Germany from Hitalia. Her main cosplay that she did from Hitalia was Prussia. Prussia and Germany, the actual nations, were right next to each other when Prussia existed before World War I or before World War II, somewhere in that range. And in the anime, in the webcomic, Germany and Prussia are brothers. The word for brother in German is Bruder.
Oh, okay.
So, Zodi's been the reason that I always call Zodi Bruder in streams, whenever they're in my stream, is that they've been my brooder for 9 years, and I've never felt an attraction to her. She's never felt an attraction to me. We don't act like we're attracted to each other. We act like we're siblings. So I mean, I guess it's really a toss-up. With your best friend, that people either think you're related, or they think you're gay.
Yes.
There's only two ways you can look at it. But yeah, that's the whole brooder thing.
Yeah. Maddie and I, one of the other EAs in her class, thought didn't realize that she's gay. But he thought that her and I were roommates. Like, at first he thought we were siblings, and then he thought we were roommates.
You're gay for each other, or you're roommates, or you're siblings.
Yep.
Yep.
That's basically how that goes. Alright, and before we move on to the next part of this, damn it, Ryan!
What did Brian say? Miss it? Oh my god. No!
I didn't say groomer. I said brooder. B-R-U-D-E-R.
Not to bring up my Rage of Dragon Age again, but so he said that, but all I heard was brood, right? So in the original Dragon Age, they have this creature that you fight, and it's a really slow build up to this creature when you're underground, in the room. There's all these like creepy journals you find and some dead bodies everywhere, and this really gross like organic matter everywhere. And there's this monster called a brood mother. It's the dark spawn, the big nasties of the game that you're fighting. the female, when they come across the female and they taint them and they turn into darkspawn, they become brood mothers that they basically birth other darkspawn. And it's the creepiest thing. She has tentacles, and that's immediately what I thought about. I'm sorry.
Interesting.
It's creepy as fuck.
It sounds creepy as fuck.
It really is, especially because while you're walking through the halls, right before you get to the brood mother that you fight, you, instead of having journals, you hear the girl talking about what is going on in this really creepy voice. I'm just like, ugh.
That sounds terrifying.
Lovely.
Oh my god, I didn't need the Simon Cowell gif, darling. He's so sick of hearing about Dragon Age, I'm sure. He says, I could listen to you talk forever, but what he really means is, please stop fucking talking about Dragon Age, please.
Okay, so one more thing before we kind of keep moving on. Just to touch on this topic really quick, because it was a painfully annoying topic earlier this year, and that is the existence of the super straight sexuality.
Oh.
Super straights,
Stupid.
quote unquote, are straight men, or women, I guess, I suppose. I think I only saw straight men really talking about it, so I'm gonna say straight men, who will not, under any circumstance, date a trans person. Now, on the surface, that can be a preference. You're not interested in someone who's trans. But, at the same time, that's transphobic as shit.
To make it a whole movement is ridiculous. I understand preferences, but, like, to alienate people
You can have a genital preference too.
Exactly.
Which is why you may not want to date a trans person.
But you don't
That's
have to be
fine.
transphobic about it.
Yeah. You're not attracted to someone based on their looks. That's fine. That's a preference. But don't make it a freaking movement.
Disgusting, really.
Especially, and this, I don't know if you ever saw the flags or the symbols they were coming up with for it. When your flag or your symbol is literally the Nazi SS symbol.
Right? Like, are you kidding me?
Are you transphobic? You're also a Nazi.
Yep.
And you know what? I feel like we all need to be a little bit of a Captain America sometimes. Especially when we see people with that symbol.
And punch Nazis?
Exactly.
Yep. See.
For legal purposes, that was a joke.
Legal purposes. We are just kidding.
Yes, exactly. Alright, so. Kiss, I know, and Timeless, I know we've all seen the corporations with their rainbow logos.
Yep.
Thoughts on that?
I think I get
At this
it.
point, I think corporations are afraid that if they don't do it, that people are going to boycott them.
I also think, like, it's important to look at the corporations that do change their logos to rainbow and see if they're actually doing anything beyond changing their logo, like donating to LGBTQ charities and like other things that they're doing to support that community. Like, it's one thing to change your logo and show support, but it's better to be...
Okay, wait, I'm sorry. Can we have a timeout for 2 seconds?
What?
I know that our podcast people can't see this unless they're in the GSG Discord, but can y'all just head over onto Media Shit for 2 seconds, please? Oh my god. Get with these two, I can't.
He showed it to me on his screen.
Oh my god.
We're having a
Okay,
serious
continue.
conversation.
Sorry, I could not acknowledge what was happening. It was like the side. It was like the egg titties that I was being shown on stream. I couldn't not look at them.
No, that's fair.
For anyone who is interested, maybe I'll share the image in the YouTube edit of this.
You should.
See what kind of things derail us. What was I saying? Oh yeah, corporations and rainbow logos. You gotta look at what they're doing throughout the year, not just during Pride Month. And like if they're only donating during Pride Month, like, which is absolutely better than nothing, or if the only thing they're doing is changing their logo, then it seems like it's a money grab.
Well, and especially when those companies like Verizon and among others donate to anti-LGBT politicians.
No, Verizon does that?
Yup. It's a money grab, and it is a money grab for the most part. Because if you go onto any corporation's Twitter, you type in, and you go to one of their Twitters that are for one of their other based companies, like, I don't know, let's say Xbox Russia, or something like that. You look at their logo there. What is their logo? It's their normal logo. Because they don't want to offend their fan base, or their base
in Russia.
There.
Yeah.
So, if they're doing it for across the board, for all of their icons, for all of their logos, that's when you know it's an honest, they want to support. If they do it just in the US and just in places where they know that there's a big support for the LGBT community, that's a money grab.
Yep.
Wait, what is that? Me mad the writers had Bean fall in love with a female mermaid. It's times like this I wish I had 3,000 fists. Yes!
Yeah.
Yes.
I love Bean. I love Disenchantment.
I haven't seen it. I want to because it's supposed to be really cute, and I liked the look of it when I saw the trailers.
It's great. I've seen all of the episodes.
I really do want to watch it. And yes, that's exactly it. That's a good point, Booble. Booble Bunny said, to be honest, some countries still have laws against LGBTQ+ people.
Yep.
And they do, unfortunately. And most of those countries are ruled by religion.
Yep.
Unfortunately as well. It is an unfortunate byproduct. I mean, it was illegal to be gay in the US until... I don't even know. 70s, 80s?
1990 something, according to Boople.
1990. Yeah. And the UK wasn't much better, I don't think, was it, Data? I don't know if you actually know off the top of your head either. But it was illegal to be anything other than straight. Which is what Pride is all about. We're taking a celebration, we're taking pride in the fact that we've survived everything that people have thrown at us. We've survived HIV, we've survived AIDS, we've survived the riots in 1964 that started Pride. We only have Pride because of Marcia and Sylvia, a trans woman of color. Was Sylvia was a trans woman of color, or no, Marsha P. Johnson was a trans woman of color, and Sylvia, I can't think of what her last name was. But I believe they were both women of color, by the way, and I know Marsha was trans. I think the other was trans as well, or... I'm kind of going into rant mode. We're gonna just kind of move on, please. Going back to what we were saying.
So, real quick, when we were talking about you guys talking about shows and stuff, I just wanted to make this comment about like how you said what LGBTQ has gone through. I just want to. Has anyone seen Orange Is the New Black all the way through?
I have not seen the last season.
Okay, so in the last season, one of the girls, Nikki, she is a lesbian.
I love Nikki.
I know. She meets a girl named Shawnee who is from Egypt in the show, and she has this whole thing that she goes through, and they talk about her past. She is a lesbian, and she is from Egypt. She underwent female genital mutilation when she was 12. And then when she was older, they found her social media account where she was kissing a woman. And while her father wouldn't do anything about it because it's her father, he wouldn't stop any else of her family from honor killing her. That's why she escaped. She was in a detention center ready to get deported back where she was going to be murdered for being a lesbian. And people don't understand that this happens today in other countries. This is a real thing that happens to women and men.
Not only that, there are still people who think, oh, if you meet the right guy, he can, or what, corrective rape, right? That's what it was. There are still people who think corrective rape works.
Yep.
There are still people who think conversion therapy works. It doesn't. It just makes it worse.
A couple years ago, there was a senator running for Congress who said the same thing, that they said that conversion therapy is all they needed. A senator.
That is what they said.
Like, yes, we said corrective rape. Yes. Yep.
Thinking it is too, Boople. So, Brian.
And also in conversion therapy, there was a whole thing of it on, if you guys watch American Horror Story in season 2, Dr. Crazy Pants, I can't remember. Dr. Crazy Pants.
Dr. Crazy Pants.
Played by Zachary Quinto, was doing conversion therapy on Lana when they committed her to the asylum for no reason other than she was trying to expose them. Found out that she was a lesbian. That's what they ended up putting her in for. And conversion therapy, trigger warning, was basically him continuously giving her a drug that made you nauseous and throw up, and he was showing her pictures of women to make her nauseous at the thought of a woman. Conversion therapy.
In the
Some places that do electrotherapy for conversion therapy. Still.
100% agree with you. I am right with there, people. As a rape survivor, that is absolutely disgusting. 100% yes.
And so, to explain really quick for Brian and anyone else who's never heard of corrective rape, it is the practice of a man raping a man, or a woman raping, and basically rape of anyone who is not straight to correct their thinking that, oh, I'm queer. Using queer as a general term for anyone who is in the alphabet Mafia.
Yep.
That is what corrective rape is. And it is still... People will threaten to do that a lot. I've heard it a lot to trans women, lesbians, non-binary people, asexual people. That's a big one. Because people who are asexual, people think they're broken because they don't experience sexual attraction.
Yep.
Sexual attraction doesn't necessarily mean, sorry, Chris, that you do not have a sex drive. It just means you're not attracted to people sexually. You find them aesthetically pleasing. But you don't want to have sex with them.
Which is fine.
Yeah, exactly.
You can have normal, fulfilling relationships without the sex. I don't know why people get shamed for this. It's so stupid. I forgot what I was going to say. I really slipped my brain. I forget. Fuck.
This is actually a lot heavier than I kind of expected.
It's such a big topic. It's a big topic,
really is.
Honestly. I know it wasn't that. I forget. I just forget where I was going with it.
We were talking about conversion therapy before that.
Yeah, it had something to do with the corrective rape. I can't remember. I can't remember to say that.
Well, if you do remember, bring it back up.
I do. I remember. Can we stop using rape as a way to threaten people too. Like, I've heard it in games. I've heard it mostly in women who are gamers, men in their chats going, "Shut up! I'm gonna rape you." Hello, can we not? Why is that? Why is that your comeback? Why?
My mom said the most fucking ridiculous thing.
Because
Yes, it is.
unfortunately, and this is the thing with rape. It's not a sexual thing. It's a power
It's a control thing. Yeah.
Power. Yep, absolutely.
It's a power thing, and they think saying "I'm gonna rape you" is basically saying like "I'm gonna dominate you. I'm gonna make you shut up."
Yeah, it's absolutely disgusting.
It is. It's
Something in the topic reminded Brian of something that his mom said.
So also as a rape survivor, people, if seriously, thank God no one has ever said it to me, because let me tell you, not only will I be reporting you to everything that I possibly can, will I find out where you live and hurt you? Like, how do you say that to people? I'm gonna be what's his face in Taken. I will find you and I will kill you. How dare you say that to somebody?
Well, if you remember,
for
Brian.
legal reasons. That's a joke.
I probably never remember the quote correctly.
What?
Unfortunately,
Okay.
Wait, what?
I said for legal reasons. That is a joke. Unfortunately,
Yeah, totally, for legal reasons. Totally
Yeah,
a joke. Just
it's a
kidding.
joke.
Ha ha ha.
it is
Like-
for legal reasons. It's not a serious statement.
Insert evil laugh from Dexter's Laboratory.
Yeah, exactly. So what was the thing that? What was the thing that that we were talking about that made Brian remember something his mom said?
That's you, Brian.
Oh,
Brian, you're up. Where you at, bro?
He's chewing. He's eating Oreos. He's chewing.
I want Oreos. I got muffins. I got chocolate chip muffins.
Muffins are good.
Mm-mm.
I heard
They're
my
yummy.
mom say something that's like out of the fucking world to me, and like a month or two ago, she's playing WoW, and like she's like, "Oh God, I'm getting raped over here," and I'm just like,
Oh my
"Fucking
God.
what?" And like it blows my mind because she's a rape survivor as well, and I'm just like,
Okay,
"Why
so
the
I
fuck
think-
are you?"
I'm gonna speak as a rape survivor myself. I have often used things like I'm getting gang raped over here, and it's kind of like I feel like it's a survivor's way of dealing with something, a trauma in our past, so we make jokes about it because it's not funny. But like,
It's cathartic.
yeah,
Yeah.
to us, it's like we can joke about it now and we can say things like that, and we don't get upset. It doesn't trigger us. We're like, okay, we're still okay, we're still good. Like,
Yeah,
if
Which
I ever
makes
heard my
sense.
mother say that, I would have a stroke. If I heard my mother say that, it is a different context to a degree, but yeah, I feel like it helps us. Just
Yeah,
say the fact that
exactly.
we're okay. Yeah.
I don't like when people like say that things like that
Yeah.
in the games. Like it bothers me because I feel like it is insensitive to rape survivors, but that is not something that I have ever been through, so I can't speak on behalf of that, but that's still like a phrase that bothers me.
People said it's literally taken me years to say that word and mention myself in the same sense. I agree. It took me a really long time too. I think, Timeless, what you're saying, like for me, it depends on who I'm with. Like I know like the people I'm with can handle it if they're okay with it, or if I know that it's something I should not say. Like if it's just me and Data, or if it's like when I played a lot with Doom and like we weren't live or something, it was just our small friends group that we all knew each other really well. That's when I'm okay, that I'm like, okay, like I know that they're gonna be okay if I say it. But like playing with like someone I didn't know, like today when we played with new people that we've never met before, I would never say something like that. One, because they don't know my story, they don't know me, I don't know them, I don't know how they're gonna take it. Be mindful of your surroundings is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah, know your
That's-
audience.
Yes.
It's a very big thing.
Yeah.
All right, so
Is there an owl? Ooh.
Brian just watched a video and he had a reaction to it.
Oh,
Ooh,
no.
did he turn into an owl? is he Hootie? Did he turn into Hootie
He
Patootie?
turned into
This
Hootie.
guy has a
It's just
screw underneath
Hootie.
his
I miss
thumbnail
Hootie too.
going down his thumb, and they put the drill in reverse and yank it out of it.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Yeah!
he's on
Want to see
Reddit.
it?
Yeah, I hear that.
Not right now. We're trying to do a podcast.
Well, I'm going to lose it if I go away from it.
Just FYI, Brian.
Oh my-
It's okay. I don't need to see it.
I know I brought up a little bit of why representation for sexuality or gender identity is important,
Yes.
but it's an example. I've given a few examples already, I know. But for younger audiences, and the audiences who are now more on YouTube and more on social media than anything, it's still doubly important. Like, I know for a fact that one of the few female, and I say this because there's only like 5 female members of the Hermitcraft server now. There's been between 5 and 6 total the entire time it's been running since 2012. 3 have been on there for a long time. She is one of the is a confirmed member of the Alphabet Mafia because she's bi. And she actually just retired from teaching too. So on one hand, I relate to her more. I mean, I love her as a streamer and a YouTuber anyway because she's a pirate and she's just, her humor is my kind of humor. But I relate to her on the fact that she's part of the Alphabet Mafia. I can relate to her on that. And on the other hand, she does a lot with pirate things. Like, her builds have been a lot of pirate things. Like, what her Season 6 build that she did was a massive galleon. And she did a massive galleon, and she built a kraken. Yes, she's in her 40s. So she drinks adult beverages. She's also, I don't know if it's rum, but you'll like this one. She's in the UK, Data.
Why would he like that? It's a joke.
Actually, what's funny is out of the 5 female members on the Hermitcraft server now, 4 out of 5 live in the UK. And it's just funny to me that that's the case. But, so, you know, I relate to her more, becomes more of my favorite because of that, and she was a teacher for however long. So I relate to her on that aspect. She actually just quit teaching yesterday, 2 days ago, to do YouTube full-time.
Lucky.
She's been a teacher for 20 years. About that.
Can confirm Data does not like Harry Potter, so no.
And you're dating him?
So,
to be fair, he likes Lord of the Rings. He gets a pass.
yeah, I'll give him a pass on that one. So,
At least Brian has
that's
seen the movies.
It broke my heart, Stu. Don't worry. I was a little...
That's just one example.
Don't
And
lie to me.
I'm sure you guys, I don't know if you guys have any examples that kind of fit what I'm talking about too.
Not really. Unfortunately, I wish I did. I'm just a pleb.
I don't have any stories, just more things about representation and games.
Just fair. Okay.
I can't with him. Data talking about Harry Potter. I don't not like it. I think it's overrated. Too many rules. Just fucking stab him with your wand. From Brian, fun Harry Potter fact.
Yes,
All Dobby was comic relief in the movies. Also, the writers. Oh, I can't say that. But yes, we don't really like.
We can talk about that because that's part of our freaking topic.
Yes,
J.K.
we just
Rowling is a
can't
turf!
But
We
I
just
didn't even think
can't
about
call
that.
her. We just can't call her what he just called her.
yeah,
We can call her a turf, though.
Yeah,
we can call her a turf because she is a turf.
a turf.
I wonder if she'll try to come after us legally for that.
Trans exclusionary radical feminist, for those who do not know what TERF means.
I didn't know what that means, but I am interested now. Jesus Christ.
The TERF
She's
movement
also
is
a fat liar. Wait, why is she a liar? Tell me your story, Data.
I think I know what this is. It's probably mostly that she says things that aren't true about the trans community. Is that what you're getting at, Data?
Learn to write, noob.
Decent. I look at it from the nostalgic point of view because it was my childhood, and it's actually what made me want to read in the first.
Yep.
Oh, got you.
There
She
is that
started
too.
and stuff. Yeah.
There is that too.
She's just not a nice person.
No,
Yeah.
she's not. Did I mention that she has a set of books that she writes under a pseudonym?
Cormoran Strike.
Does she really?
Yeah.
Besides the J.K. Rowling one, which is also technically a pseudonym. So
Yeah.
her other set of books are adult books. They're themed towards adults. That's not an issue.
What is her pseudonym?
Robert Galbraith.
Oh.
The reason that name is so triggering for the LGBTQ community, he's the father of conversion therapy.
And you know she had to have done her research on that. She's a writer.
She did it on purpose, I guarantee it.
And her first book,
GSG is gonna get sued.
probably.
Sued for slander.
And you want to know the best part? Her first book, the killer pretends to be a woman to enter female spaces.
No.
So
They do
Okay,
call
so okay, let her try to sue because she cannot, because these are all facts. We're not slandering her. We're just saying facts.
So I did hear something. I have not personally read the book, but one of the things I heard is that it was based on a real life serial killer.
Okay, that's fair. There are killers that did that, so that is fair.
That's all I got.
Who really was
Okay.
known for that, which was Ed Gein.
Yes.
But we are not a serial killer podcast, so we won't really get into Ed Gein and him being the...
Side note, can we please do a podcast at one point about conspiracy theories?
Hell yes.
And
Please, yes.
conspiracy
Yes.
killers and serial killers.
Yes.
I'm down.
Exactly what it's called. Conspiracy theories and serial killers. And maybe,
I'm
okay,
down.
so hear
DSG's
me,
second podcast.
hear me out. I think that, right? Oh my god, yes. That kind of podcast, can we please plan that for a day where maybe my son is with his dad so we can have like a longer podcast
Yes.
on those things?
Yes.
I could talk for
Does-
days. Days.
How often does your son
Not-
get picked up?
Not often, but I'm just hinting that in September he will be going with his dad and my mother at some point. But
So he just needs to see your dad and his mother. Wait.
I am his mother.
Whatever you said.
And her mother.
Yeah.
and
He should
Jada
see
wants to do it while
his-
he's here, so he can be in the podcast too.
So you just need to schedule your kid to go see his dad more often, is what I'm saying.
Listen, it's not my fault. It's all on his dad. If he would like to see him more, he should probably come and see him more. But he wants to have his own life and do his own thing. And oh my god, I don't know how to be a dad. Okay, I'm done. Sorry.
Or
That's
She
its own
needs to schedule
episode.
she needs to schedule more time with Killian with her mom so she can do these.
That requires my mom not to hate me.
I mean, fair.
She doesn't hate me. That was a false statement. She doesn't hate me. She just doesn't understand me.
No one understands me.
No one understands.
Yeah, so and there was I remember very clearly hearing about this. There is some scene in that series of books, in that first book, where the main character, the protagonist, actually threatens to send this character who is apparently trans to a men's correctional facility and let the inmates know that they are a trans woman.
Big oof. Oh God. Okay, see, I'm very torn. I would want to read it first, but knowing what I know about the writer, I know it's probably not this, but there are instances where this happens, and I would be interested to see how she wrote it, to see if it's as bad as we think it is.
I
or
actually
if it's...
think I have that book.
Oh?
The first Cormoran Strike novel, yeah, because when it first came out, I was like, J.K. Rowling wrote it. I need it. It was before, we knew she was.
Before we knew the truth.
So I've got it somewhere, and I started to read it, and then I stopped because I suck at finishing books, as evidenced by even the book that my cousin wrote, The SEPA Project.
I'm in section 2.
Oh, good! You're catching up to me.
We're almost ready for our meeting that we were supposed to have a month ago.
I think that's one of the reasons I paused reading it, is so everyone could catch up, and nobody's catching up.
I'm sorry. I'm
Slowly
so close.
catching up.
No pun intended. I'm so close.
But,
Okay.
yeah, so it's not good.
Yeah, I would like to read it. Honestly,
And the
I would
thing
like
is-
to read it.
The thing that makes me so mad, there's other things I could talk about. I could talk for an entire day about things that people have done to the trans community, to the T and the LGBTQ community, that just piss me off so much. Like all the trans athlete bills that are against trans athletes,
Oh my god.
and how they're doing it so because it might happen, not because it has happened, but because it might.
I don't even want to talk about it because then we got to talk about Caitlyn Jenner, and I really don't want to because.
No, I don't want to talk about it because then you'd have me going on a rant about my state and the stupid bills that my governor has signed about this. And he signed it on the
Your
first.
fucking governor. Your governor's a moron.
And he signed it on the first day of June.
What
this year.
idiot. Oh, for the.
Well, we
love of
already knew
God.
he wasn't. We already knew he wasn't for the Alphabet Mafia.
But still, damn.
But
Out there.
and people, the thing that makes me so mad about this first book from her, from the bitch J.K. Rowling, it's a fact, is that a book like that is just going to fuel the fear that people will say they're trans to enter female spaces. I'm sorry. Do you have any proof that this has ever happened? No. Because guess what? It really doesn't happen. I'm gonna stop now because I really could go on just a mini rant and I really shouldn't.
Let's talk about...
But
Dean?
what? Pot?
What?
Final thoughts
Oh,
on this
I
topic.
was like, pot? What?
right, I also heard pot.
Oh, good. It wasn't just me. Damn.
Said it quickly, so yeah. Final thoughts.
I don't
Which
know.
topic we want to hit on first here?
Pancakes.
Because then it would kind of lead to rant territory, so y'all two are good to go.
Haley.
Dark's like, I'm not. I can't. I can't.
I can't.
I can't.
Look at these pancakes.
I get very passionate, so
I just I am a mere ally. I am not a member of the Alphabet Mafia, really. So,
Woman?
I
Woman?
don't.
we
What?
had this conversation. You are.
Wait. Context. Haley's just as confused.
You brought it up in a stream
I did.
that I did recently,
I did. I brought it up.
and that does make you part of the Alphabet Mafia.
And I miss it. I feel like I'm being left out.
We're talking about we were talking about romantic attraction and sexual attraction, and what the difference
You don't
is.
have to tell me. You don't have to tell me.
No, I don't. I don't mind telling you. I said I was biromantic.
Oh, okay.
Does
Yes,
make
then
you
you're-
part of
and-
the
and
Alphabet
you're-
Mafia.
And then you are part of us. Welcome. Welcome to the crew.
I feel like I don't feel like I have a lot of enough.
That doesn't make you
No,
part of it.
I know. I just mean on the for the final thoughts.
Oh, people are
That's
kind
fair.
of. People suck.
Yes.
Yes, people suck. We
I
need
stopped
more.
myself.
More representation is needed because it's super important for the alphabet mafia to be represented so they can see that they are not weird or broken and that what the way they are is normal, and people who tell them that it's not normal or not natural need to go pick up a science book.
Yeah. Suck a dick. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
2 dicks. No, wait, 3 dicks. No, 1,000,000.
Oh, Jesus.
Just stick them all in their mouth.
So look at it this way: if they stick enough dicks in there, they can't talk and can't say their stupid shit.
That's why I always tell people I'm going to throat punch them, because if you punch them in the throat, they can't talk.
Okay, have you ever had your windpipe snapped?
Yeah, I was gonna
No.
say, but that can also lead to death. So
Listen,
you have to behave very carefully.
you gotta know how hard you punch, okay?
We had a small child at my mental health job that when she would get escalated, if she could get to your windpipe, she would snap it. I was lucky enough to be liked by this particular child and never had my
Dear.
windpipe snapped. But that was the thing she did.
One of the few
Here.
things I hate hearing you say, wait, why do you hate hearing me say it? It's because I'm violent. Is it the violence that gets you?
You mean that's not one of her more attractive qualities?
Yeah, that's not part of my charm. I'm not actually gonna throat punch somebody. Well,
I mean, I think that's why we get along, cause
he thinks I'm just gonna throat punch people. I mean,
okay.
I've
Sure.
never throat punched anybody. It's fine.
There's a difference between wanting to throat punch somebody and actually throat punching somebody.
Exactly.
Yet, as Raz would like to add, yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
There are people on my list.
Same.
Mhm.
Love a good throat punch. Fucking Doom. Where did Doom come from?
You missed the entire podcast, dude.
Out of nowhere,
He
you
just
just like
popped in for
throat
the throat
punches?
punching.
He came for the throat punching. Doom, I'm not shocked that
It's his
Doom loves
calling
a good
card.
throat punch.
the calling card. Of
Honestly,
Doom.
I
Throat
think,
punching.
I think that's how you. I think that's how he knew to come in. He sensed the word throat
He's-
punch.
His throat punching senses were tingling. Oh
Now I have
my
Daddy
god,
Data-
Brian.
Now I have Daddy Data and Spicy Baby Boy Doom.
Oh my god. Welcome to GSG.
So, any final thoughts, Kiss?
Basically what Timeless said, and I honestly have a hard time because some of the stuff we talked about I wasn't prepared for, but I just think people need to be open-minded and aware of their surrounding and what's going on in the world, and stop being ignorant. And yeah, and also Dragon Age 4 needs to come out. Okay, great.
I just need Paralives, man. Just give me Paralives.
I might actually give you the throat punch challenge on me just to watch you jumping on the spot for my own amusement.
That's so mean. Because I'm not only 5'1", but I also have short T-Rex arms. That's not fair, and you're a freaking tree. Okay, that's not
Okay,
fair.
but you get to climb that tree.
Yeah, it's true. You know what you do to trees though? You climb them. Okay, don't play with me. I'm like a monkey. Okay.
Okay. So, and Doom, I guess that just means you'll have to listen to the podcast when it comes out on Spotify next week-ish. Yes?
If you guys give me the audio, I can have it on the first. Just saying.
Okay. I will work
so,
on that this week. This week, not this weekend.
Okay, hold on. I gotta talk about this. Why do people say bruv? Can't you just say bro? Why do we gotta add the V?
Brit thing.
Is it a Brit thing?
Is it? Because I've heard
It
Americans
is.
do it. I've heard Americans
It
do it.
is it's a Brit thing.
But Americans like to steal Brit things, you know?
Yeah.
Doom, the reason he is telling you to stream at 720 is because there are people out there who cannot watch your stream, and it hurts mobile users from watching you, and a lot of people who cannot watch you stream at 1080. That's why. Just putting it out there.
Settings, obviously. And that's coming from the person who's got a really shitty setup.
Thanks, OBS. Yeah, it's in your OBS, yeah. Just because you can doesn't mean you should, because most people cannot watch you.
Okay, so any of our lovely people who have been around the entire time, also thank you guys for showing up for so long, for as long as you did. You guys have been awesome for that.
We had fun.
Do you guys have any final comments or questions?
I do have a final comment. I know you weren't talking to me, but I'm going to say it
I
again.
was going to say, this is the audience's turn. You already got to talk.
The audience can turn while Kiss talks.
I just wanted to make a comment that next month, the next...
That's our outro.
We're kind of in our outro at this point.
Yeah, I mean, true.
Just while we're waiting for people to say anything, next month, our podcast is going to be live when we record it, because we are going to be talking about something very, very heavy and something that does need to be talked about. We are going to be talking about mental health issues, and it's going to be heavy, and it's going to be very deep. I know I will be going in detail about things that I struggle with, and we are going to open it to the audience too if you guys want to talk about some things. We will reiterate this, but we are not therapists. We just want to give you a chance if you want to talk about it. But just a trigger warning, there was going to be a lot of deep shit talked about next podcast.
And it looks like the tentative date for that will be August 22nd. And it'll be streamed on the Girl Spot Gaming Twitch channel.
August 22nd is the last Saturday.
Okay.
Second to last Saturday, and it's the third week in August.
And I'm just going to say that we already know that our September podcast will be somewhere between September 17th and because Data would like to be a part of that one.
Oh, is that going to be our serial killer one?
Yeah, he'll be here on the 15th is when he gets here. Guess how much is it going to take for you to give me a throw punch? For you? $2.
Well, you have to get to her first.
$2. He's short like me too. I can reach you instantly.
Yeah, he is.
You tiny man, I can reach you. I would like to see him try to throw punch me because I fast. Don't let the chunkiness fool you. I have fast feet. I DDR'd for like 20 years, okay? Like I got fast
DDR.
feet.
I need an
DDR.
updated version of DDR that works on current gen consoles.
Right.
She has a child, she has to be quick, truth.
Very true. But yeah, I think that's gonna actually do it for the podcast.
Alright.
Can we stream Kiss and Doom throw a punch fight? They won't be much of a fight. No offense to Doom, I'm just... I'll lay on her?
Just sitting you before you can lay on her.
Listen.
I heard
I've had
first.
I've had a cop friend of mine tell me that I couldn't make him tap out.
And you
Bitch
made him
tapped
tap
out after 2 minutes. He tapped out. Don't play with me. I'm strong like bull, okay? I want to be tapped out. You want to be tapped out in a different way. We're not going to talk about that.
Keep
Later,
that to your
Rita,
private
later.
calls.
Wait until September.
We call that it's a TTO. And when we're not recording, I will tell you guys what that means. Can we stream it? No. Yeah, and OnlyFans, sure, okay.
On Twitch.
I don't know. They let.
I'll just get in a hot tub.
Oh yeah, you were gonna. I guess
Were we supposed to talk about hot tub
We
streamers
were
tonight?
supposed to talk about hot tub streamers.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna put that in there.
I didn't know where to put it, so just like maybe we'll talk about it. Maybe we don't. The long and short of it is, one question women get is, do you have a problem with hot tub streamers because it takes away from your viewers? No.
No.
Is the short answer of that. No, I don't have an issue.
And here's
do what you're gonna do.
Here's why it doesn't take away from us. Because if they are there to watch the hot tub streamers, they are not there for the gaming streamers. They are there for the hot tub streamers. Therefore, they would have never been my viewer. So therefore, they could not take my viewer.
Yes.
Ta-da!
There you go. That's the super condensed short version of how that discussion may have gone.
That's my favorite thing to tell people. I have titties and I'm not mad about the titty streamers, okay? I should be the titty streamer. We don't give a shit.
I could totally be a titty streamer, but I'm not.
Right? I do think, however, it does not belong on Twitch. I don't care. Make your money, girlfriend. Or boys who are also getting in hot tubs now because they think it's funny to make fun of female streamers. I don't think it belongs on Twitch. I think there are other sites that is there for that, but I don't really care. I don't think it's stealing my views. I just think it doesn't belong on Twitch.
Right.
This is getting into the whole thing of certain things belong on Twitch, certain things don't.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there are a few people, and I think this is just a vocal minority, that Twitch is meant to be only gaming, quote unquote. But Twitch has expanded over the years to be something where anyone who's doing something creative can stream to. I mean,
and there is no line. Unfortunately, like, I think Twitch should be content creation, but I also don't think content creation is a whoever grinding on an inflatable horse in a hot tub.
Yeah, and the overtly sexual ones can just.
And I will say Twitch did ban a couple streamers. Unfortunately, my problem is that both of said streamers and a couple other ones have been banned more than the 3-time strike that they supposedly have, because they make them a lot of money.
And Twitch plays favorites. But that's
They do,
topic
and
for another day.
I mean, the stupidest ones are when they've banned body painters. Like, that's content creation.
Yeah, they literally, it's even in our TOS. You can do these things as a body painter. It does say that in TOS, and body painters are still getting banned following the rules. That is bullshit when other streamers who are not following TOS and who are clearly breaking TOS might get banned for a day, not perma-bans, and do it constantly, getting 8 bans, and you're still not perma-banning them, but you're gonna ban the body painters who are following TOS.
Exactly, and there was one that I followed that she was supposed to be perma-banned, a body painter, and she was following the rules. She had everything covered like she was supposed to. She had that already painted partially, so there was no chance of that of things being exposed that aren't supposed to be exposed.
Yeah. They say the body painter thing is a lack of training to the staff who are handing out the bans. It's the only way I see it. Bad staff training. Absolutely. They're letting them just make these decisions, and they're wrong.
They're not training them on TOS.
Or they just really don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Or they're in that crowd that thinks, oh, it's not gaming. It should be banned. Or it's a female body. That's not nude for my enjoyment. It should be banned in some cases. And unfortunately, a lot of the times, the reports that lead to these bans are exactly that.
Yeah.
Anyway, but that is again another topic we can cover a lot.
Yeah, that can be touched on another day.
So any final words?
No, I think that was it. I got angry. I got angry.
Alright, thank you all for listening and contributing, and for those who will be watching this on YouTube or listening on Spotify or wherever, feel free to either comment on the YouTube video if you have any thoughts regarding this topic, or like mental health that we'll be talking about next time, or tweet at us at Girl Talk WGS1 on Twitter.
There's a lot of hate out in the world, and to that end, try to replace that hate with some love for your fellow human.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
And remember, we have our next podcast on August 22nd. It will be live on girl_spot_gaming. I believe that's also the YouTube as well.
Yes. There's no underscores on YouTube, but it is Girl Spot
Okay.
Gaming.
So you can find us at both of those. Thank you guys so much for listening.
And we'll see you next time.